in January and she died in September. Sometimes we look at names way back and we don't think that they're real people, that they're just a name on the page, but they did have a life. They were real people, and they still are. They're still real people. Mom and Dad built the house in Cardston. We moved down to Cardston from Edmonton, and he and Dad practically built the house. We have a picture of, can't see the house very well, but we do have a picture of the beautiful golden trees out in front, and it was always a pretty place. The grandkids always liked to come there. I remember having family reunions there, and we had fun. I used to enjoy having everybody home for Christmas and New Year's and Easter and Thanksgiving. We always had a crowd. There was always 6 or 7 cars in the driveway, you know. Always, the kids were always all home for the big deals. Marianne, little Marianne, she says, all I can remember having at your house is turkey. We always had turkey every time we came to your house. The day after I got to Cardston from Edmonton, I had a job at the hospital as a ward aide, and I worked there for 14 years, and I've been retired from that job now for 20 years as of the 30th of April. And it just seems like yesterday, but it was a good part of our lives. And in the interim, we went on trips. We had lots of trips. We went to Europe, went to Rome, we went to 9 countries in Europe, went to England. First time we went with Jack and Ruth, and we hired a car. In England we went on a bus trip, which was wonderful. The Lake District of England was my favorite, and we saw so many things in England that I see on TV now, and I think, ooh, I was there, you know, I loved it. But England's a wonderful place, except that now it's pretty expensive. And then we went through 9 countries in Europe. Of course, it doesn't take long. 2 days you can go through 9 countries in Europe. But we ended up in Rome, and my doctor said, well, the treasures of the earth are in Rome. And indeed they are. They have wonderful things in Rome. They have all the buildings that have been there for so many hundreds of years. And they look like they're worn on the outside, but I found that when you go in the buildings, they all have marble floors that are just shining like glass, and they're so clean and wonderful. It was a great place to visit. We got a call to go on a mission to New Zealand Temple, but I was most unhappy when we didn't go because Fred got sick. I was unhappy for him and for me. It was a sad day because I know he was needed somewhere else, but I really miss him. I know when he had finished his operations, and he got a letter in the mail from the MTC, and it said that he'd been honorably released from his mission. And he got on the phone as soon as he got that letter, and he phoned that missionary department, and he said, I haven't been released from my mission. I've just been transferred to a different area. And I thought it was so wonderful of him to take that attitude. It wasn't, woe is me, or why me did this happen. It was him just looking forward to the next life, to the next phase of our existence. And he knew it wouldn't be long till I would be there, and I knew it wouldn't too, even though the years are adding up. into the 15th year now. It seems a long time for me, but I know it's only a short time in eternity. I remember one time one of you girls gave him this heart-to-heart bear, and he loved that bear, and one day it disappeared. And so I said to the nurse, I said, do any of you know what happened to Fred's heart-to-heart bear? And they said, yeah. They said, we've got it. And they left him a note that said, if you want your heart-to-heart bear back, you have to sing a song. So they all came down to his room, and he sang them that sow song or something, I think it was. I forget. It was the sow song, and they thought that was so much fun. But he was so much fun for the nurses that they, in fact, in Carston, when he was in the hospital there, the nurses said that they were supposed to be the ones to cheer up the patients, but they said Fred was the one that cheered us up. If we needed cheering up, we just went to Fred's room. I said, I hope in this life I'm not just famous for my banana cream pie and watching hockey, but boy, oh boy, I do enjoy the hockey games. My most important advice to make sure that you write down every day something that you think is important to you or your family that would make their lives better and happier. And not only write it down, maybe even whisper in their ear sometime. And be sure and tell them you love them. I wish all my kids, whatever they want to do with their lives, I hope they're able to do it and do a good job of it. Always remain true to themselves. It's a good life if you make it that way, but you have to work at it. Life isn't going to come around and drop you into a bed of rose petals, you know. You sort of have to work at having a good life. We had to work at ours, and it's a good life.